Greetings one and all, this is Rhythmworks and welcome to my channel. I've often said it every time I begin to make a certain type of video, but I've thought to myself I should never mix politics with a gaming channel and the gaming video that's within the gaming channel. And I've succumbed to the fact that I need to get this off my chest, because if I don't, the equilibrium or lack of in my headspace is just going to have me hopping for the rest of my life. So what I'm about to say, you might have some differences of opinion, which is fine, fair enough. What I'm about to say, you might even unsubscribe from my channel if you are subscribed to my channel, and that is fine. I'm not doing this to be an internet superstar or anything else of that nature. I'm just getting off my chest what I need to get off my chest. Now, as I'm trying to get this Simply Perfect medal in Destiny, the third of 3 that I need to get in order for me to get some legendary armor, I am going in the direction of Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump. And I just want to get an understanding of the whole situation within the last 7 days of his presidency. So please let me understand if you have a handle on this, because I'm just trying to figure it out. Right now, Donald Trump was elected as the 45th president of the United States in November of 2016. On the 20th of January 2017, he was inaugurated as the President of the United States, the 45th. Throughout his campaign, in the middle of all of the statements that he basically made, whether they were right, wrong, politically incorrect or correct or what have you, he stated from the get-go that he was going to build a wall and the Mexicans were going to pay for it, and also that he was going to tighten America's borders because of the threat of ISIS in America. And he's basing it on what has happened since 9/11 and his wishes to strengthen the country from there. Whether we agree with it, whether we don't agree with it, that's what he said, that's what he's saying, that's what he's stuck by, right? So since the inauguration, he has signed executive orders basically stating that we're going to put bans in place. Not permanent bans, by my understanding, bans of 90 days and ban of 120 days, where more stringent checks are going to basically be in place. And he's more or less going to take care of the illegal alien situation, which from my last reckoning didn't just apply to Middle Eastern people. It applied to Mexicans, Jamaicans, English people, Australian people. It applies to a lot of people who don't have the necessary paperwork to be regarded as an American citizen, right? Okay. Now, based upon that, people are protesting. And I'm not saying that people don't have a right to protest. You know what I mean? People can protest about whatever they basically want to. But the reality of the situation, and I can't even call it a sad reality because it's something that people just going to have to deal with on a worldwide level, but more so the Americans more than anybody else, because it was them that voted for the man to be put in power. The reality is that it's not going to change a goddamn thing. From a domestic level, I'm asking you all, do you honestly think that all the protesting that's going on right about now is going to change a thing where Donald Trump and his administration and the Senate and elements of the Republican Party are concerned? After all of that campaigning that he's been doing for the last 18 months, you think he's going to suddenly say, well, nah, I changed my mind? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, because any politician in power that is going to sway at the slightest discord that he has with his constituents is not going to make him retain the power that he has and that he wields. I mean, please tell me if I'm being wrong in what I'm saying or I'm being misedified or what have you. But he's not going to change his mind about that because it's something that he feels needs to be done for his fellow Americans and for the country that his fellow Americans that voted for him is living in. It's plain and simple. Whether we in the United Kingdom or elsewhere that holds these massive protests thinks that it's wrong, yeah, okay, that is fine. But I don't live in America. I don't live in America. I don't have dual nationality in America, which leads me on very neatly to another element of this subject matter, which is who is the double Olympic champion Sir Mo Farah. That don't even sound right. Sir Mohammed Farah, a Somalian who received a New Year's honor from the Queen by way of the British Empire. Now, in relation to the honors system, you know, people can differ and people can have a difference of opinion. To me, now I know people that has actually refused the honor based upon their principles, like John Lennon, Benjamin Zephaniah, and there's many more people. But I digress. Now, Mo Farah issued a statement by way of response to the order that was made by President Trump, in which he more or less infers that he fears that his children won't be able to see their daddy because America is a place where they've made home and America is a place where he trains. And he was born a Somalian but had citizenship in the United Kingdom in order for him to compete as a great British athlete, an English athlete as it were. Now, the clue is in the freaking flag that you drape yourself with when you won those medals. That means you have dual nationality. That means you had nothing to basically worry about. And I found it very weird that he made that statement and not known that he was a person of dual nationality. I could understand it if there were Somalians or Syrians or people from Iraq that don't have dual nationality with the United States and were in mid-transit. I can understand their fears in relation to the relatives that they do have in the United States of America. But for Mo Farah to make that statement really was not, it was not logical, it was not sensible. And then the Foreign Office basically stating as a response to Mo's statement in saying, look, if you have dual nationality, you don't have no problem. The only problem you're going to have is if you as a dual nationalized citizen is going to take a flight from Somalia or from Syria or from all the places that are in utter civil war against Christians and Muslims and yada yada yada. You know the rest, fill in the blanks. You're only going to be subjected to extra checks. Now, to the last time I checked, we were subjected, every one of us was subjected to extra checks before we even got on a plane as a result of the legacy that 9/11 left us. From my reckoning. Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I chatting shit? I don't know. But with Mo Farah, it's not like people don't know who the fuck Mo Farah is. That's what fucking got me. And for him to make the statement basically implying poor me. Nah, you was wrong to put yourself in that category, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Totally wrong. You know, I think the corn you're eating, man, is fucking getting to your freaking brain somewhat. I'm not saying it as a troll. I'm not saying it as a hater. You know, I marvel at his achievements on the freaking running field, on the track, you know what I mean? But when you're making a statement, right? Make a statement based upon an informed view of the whole situation. If you're a dual national citizen, then you can basically state, well, you know, I worry about my relatives and yada 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 who might not have dual nationality. I worry about my Somalian brothers and sisters who may not have dual nationality that might be subjected to these stringent checks and yada yada yada. I totally get that. But when you're talking about it from your perspective and you have dual nationality and you're talking about you being worried, come on, Mo. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. And last but by no means least, the protests that has more or less manifested into this petition. Now, for those who are outside of England that doesn't know, if there are things that needs to be highlighted that we disagree with in, I don't know, in a political sense, in a human rights sense, in a civil liberties sense, and we draw up a petition for people to sign, and it reaches over, I think it's over 100,000 or 120,000, it earns the right to be discussed in Parliament. Now, that's fine. But what that tells me is that with everything else, it will be considered. That doesn't mean to say that it will be totally looked into and everything will be weighed up and yada, yada, yada. It's a state visit by Donald Trump to the UK. And people are already signing petitions basically saying they don't want Trump to come over. Breaking fucking news. It's not gonna happen. Donald Trump is gonna fucking come. He's gonna come. He's going to arrive in the UK. When that invitation date is due, he's going to arrive. He's even making stipulations that he wants to play golf at Balmoral and have the Queen watch his ass. He's gone all Jennifer Lopez and Mariah Carey and shit on the Queen. That's how deep he's going in. So people, you can protest all you like. He's the 45th president of the United States, right? The big problem that we all have as a people, as a world people, is to negate the freaking radicalization of our youths, where they come from. I mean, you know, we had girls of 14, 15 years of age being radicalized in ways that you wouldn't have guessed. You know, you would have thought that the girls had a little bit more sense than the boys in being radicalized and going to Syria and fighting Daesh's or IS's war against, you know, Christians and non-believers, as they would basically have it. That's one problem. In America, you got other problems where you got the trench coat mafia, if you like, these young kids being depressed and being, you know, just downtrodden by their own freaking doing, by their own brain, by their own headspace, and just deciding to just go to the freaking college that they were at and take a gun and shoot fucking 20, 30 people dead. That's what you gotta fucking worry about. You know what I mean? That's what we all gotta worry about. And do not get me started with Black Lives Matter. And I'm speaking as a black man. Let me tell you something. Black lives need to matter to black people first before it matters to anybody else. Why am I saying that? Because, it's okay to protest when the law enforcement agencies are killing black people on a regular. But let me tell you something, right? Nobody's killing black people more on a regular than black people themselves. Whether you want to agree to it, whether you don't want to agree to it, the fact remains. In this month alone of this new year, 30 odd people have already been murdered in Chicago. Already. And not even 31 days has passed in January. Do you understand what I'm saying? And these are black people killing their one another. Guarantee it, because I don't think you're going to have much white people going into Chicago and killing black people with such regularity. Do you know what I'm saying? So the odds are is that it's black people killing after one another, right? So there is my logic where that is concerned. Black lives need to matter to black people first before it matters to anybody else. And anybody who says any difference to that can kiss my entire black ass. We had an actor, I say we, but America had an actor who became the president of the United States as well, Ronald Reagan. See what nearly happened to him. And it's just eerie and ironic that the tagline that Donald Trump uses was coined by Ronald Reagan himself. But I digress. But what I'm saying is that, you know, we have a saying, a colloquial West Indian saying that says, fix your yard before you come abroad. That means, you know, we got to put our own houses in order before we start fucking demonstrating and protesting about other issues elsewhere in the world. America is the most powerful nation on earth, or, you know, they would believe, or what have you, but that's a difference of opinion, you know, because Korea and Russia is creeping up the back straight, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, they have their own fucking problems that we don't have no influence over, you know. With Brexit, Donald Trump, you know, no, not Donald Trump, President Obama basically was stating, well, you know, England's going to end up in the back of the queue. Now, people's basically rubbishing that already by saying, no, we're going to be at the front of the queue. But the thing is, there's been a judgment where Article 50 or whatever the fuck is called, it has to basically be discussed in Westminster before government can basically take that and bring it to the European Union and say, look, these are the conditions that we want for when we leave. And the European Union is basically stating, well, fuck you, you voted to fucking leave, you ain't getting no fucking privileges. Why must I relinquish my respect for my brothers in arms in the other European countries when I'm going to deal with you and give you what my brothers and sisters have? But you want to leave the family, you want to leave the union, you want to leave the household. Come on now. Anyway, that is my thinking, and that is my rationale, if I even dare to call it that, in relation to the whole Donald Trump thing and, you know, the shit he has caused within the last 7 days of his presidency. Now, whether or not you want to contribute by debating further, that's fine, but I just wanted to get it off my chest because America is America, United Kingdom is the United Kingdom, Australia is Australia, Europe is Europe. We all got our own fucking shit to fucking deal with. Do you know what I'm saying? If the people voted Donald Trump in power, they've got to fucking deal with that shit. Not us. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, there's something to be said if the people of America is voting for, in some degrees, the lesser of two evils. You know, that's the sad situation because they didn't really have much of a choice. And I think the millennials had a romantic idea of voting in Hillary Clinton to be the first female president. I think they wanted to kind of keep that history thing going. The first this, the first that. But in reality, Hillary Clinton wasn't all freaking fluffy white and clean herself. You know what I'm saying? And it was things that happened in her husband's administration, which a lot of millennials weren't even born at that time. You know, some of us has got long memories, and that's the reason why she wasn't voted as the 45th president of the United States. It was the lesser of two evils, and it was the evil of two lessers that happened in America's situation. And that is the saddest thing of all for me personally. And there was no one better, there was no one strong enough to even compete with those two. So there you have it. There's my logic, there's my rationale, and I'm fucking sticking to it. Anyway, that is all for me for now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters. Thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by. Like I said, this has got nothing to do with gaming per se, but I needed to get this thing off my chest because if I don't, I'm going to be walking with a lean and I'm going to be hopping for the rest of the day. And I am not doing that. As a creative person, I don't want to end up like Vincent van Gogh and fucking chop off my ear to counterweight the fucking balance. Do you know what I mean? So it's with that, I'm going to leave you. And as always, you done know the coup, whatever the platform, media, format, genre, happy gaming, because that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters. And until I catch you on the next one, people, stay blessed. Magan.